welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how to knit a hat. So to knit that hat, this is the yarn that I will be using, and this will be an adult sized hat, so it will fit most hat sizes. And the needles which we will be using is, first we will be using a UK size number 8, which is a 4mm needle, which will be used for working in the ribbing. And then we will use a UK size number 6, which is a 5mm needle. We will use this for the rest of the hat. Now to begin making this hat, we will leave a long tail for our cast on, and we are going to cast on 106 stitches. So here I am using the 4mm knitting needle. I have a circular, but you can work on straight needles, it's all up to you. And we will begin casting on 106 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and in this way you will cast on 106 stitches. I have casted on 106 stitches, and now we will begin working in the knit 1 purl 1 ribbing. So for the ribbing, remember to work in the back of each stitch when knitting. So now this first stitch is going to be a knit, so instead of going in through the front loop, we're going to go in through the back loop, and we're going to knit our first stitch. Then we are going to purl the next stitch, and then again when we have to knit, we will go through the back loop of the stitch and knit the stitch, and then purl the next stitch. So in this way we will work our ribbing. I have finished working on the first row of the ribbing, and we are going to continue working on the ribbing in the same way. When you reach the beginning of the next row, you're going to go in through the back loop and knit the first stitch, and then you're going to purl the next stitch, and in this way you will keep on working on the ribbing for 2 inches. So I have finished working on the ribbing, and I have ended on the right side. So we will begin working on the next rows from the right side. You have to make sure that you end on the right side. These little bumps show you that this is the wrong side, and these straight edges show you that it is the right side. So we will begin working on the pattern stitches now. We are going to change to our 5mm knitting needle, and we will begin working in the pattern. So the first row of the pattern, which will be worked on the right side, is you are going to knit the first stitch, and then you are going to work a twist. Now to work a twist, we are going to skip the first stitch on the left hand needle, and we're going to go in the next stitch. So go in the next stitch and knit it, and after knitting this stitch, you will not drop it off the needle. Then you will go in the first stitch that you skipped and knit that stitch, and then you will drop it off the needle. So here you have created a twist. I'm going to show you once again how you're going to do it, but after this twist you are going to purl the next 48 stitches. So just purl the next 48 stitches. So I just have 2 more stitches remaining to purl, so I'm going to purl these 2 stitches, and in total I have purled 48 stitches. So after purling 48 stitches, we are again going to work a twist. So skipping the first stitch on the left hand needle and going into the next stitch, we're going to knit the next stitch, and then without dropping the stitches off the needle, we're going to go into the first stitch that we skipped and knit that stitch as well. And now drop both these stitches off from the left hand needle. So here is your twist. Now you are going to repeat this once again. So the repeat is going to be that you will again work a twist. So you worked a twist over here, and now you're going to work another twist. So skip the next stitch and going into the next one, skipping this first stitch on the left hand needle and going into the next stitch. You will knit it, and then going into the first stitch that you skipped and knitting that as well, and then dropping both these stitches off the left hand needle. So here you worked your first twist, then the second one, and now again you are going to purl the next 48 stitches. I have purled all these 48 stitches, and now I am left with 3 stitches. So we are going to work a twist in these next 2 stitches, skipping the first stitch on the left hand needle and going into the next stitch. We are going to knit it, and then without dropping it off the left hand needle, we are going to go into the stitch that we skipped and knit that stitch as well, and we are going to drop both these stitches off the left hand needle, and now we are left with 1 stitch and we are going to knit that stitch. So this completes row number 1 of the pattern. Now we will begin working on row number 2 of the pattern, which will be worked on the wrong side of the hat. So to begin row number 2, we are going to first purl the first 3 stitches. So this is our first stitch, and then purl the second stitch and purl the third stitch. After purling the first 3 stitches, we are going to begin working on the repeat for this round. So to begin working on the repeat, we're going to first purl 3 together. So we're going to go in the next 3 stitches as to purl, so after you are in the 3 stitches, you're going to purl these 3 stitches together. It's going to be a bit tough to do in the beginning. So purl these 3 stitches together like so. Now after purling the 3 stitches together, we are going to knit, purl and knit all in the next stitch. So this is our next stitch. We're going to go in this stitch and we're going to knit in this stitch, but we won't drop it off the left hand needle. Then we're going to purl in the same stitch, again not dropping it off the left hand needle, and then again go in this stitch and knit. So knit, purl and knit all in the same stitch, and now we will drop it off the left hand needle. So here it is. I'm going to show you once again. We're going to go in the next stitch and knit. Make sure that your stitches are a bit loose, because you have to later work in these 3 stitches and it's going to be a bit tough if you have them too tight. So make sure they're a bit loose. So knit in this stitch, then you're going to purl in the same stitch, keeping it a bit loose, and then again you're going to go in the same stitch and knit it, keeping it a bit loose. So here we have our knit, purl and knit all in the same stitch, and you will drop it off the left hand needle. So this was your repeat for this round. You will purl 3 together and then knit, purl and knit all in the same stitch. So you have finished this repeat once, the purl 3 and the knit, purl, knit in the same stitch. This is counted as once. Now you are going to repeat the same thing 11 more times. So in total you will work this 12 times. I'm going to show you once again what your repeat is going to be. You're going to go into the next 3 stitches and you're going to purl these 3 stitches together. Oops, let's go in there again, like this. After purling these 3 stitches together, you're going to knit, purl and knit all in this next stitch. So going in the next stitch, knit and keep it a bit loose, then go in the same stitch and purl, keeping it loose, and then again knit in the same. So I have finished working on the repeat 11 times and for a total of 12 times, and now we are going to purl the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now after purling the next 4 stitches, you are going to again repeat the same thing that you did over here. You're going to purl the next 3 stitches together, after purling 3 stitches together, you are going to go into the next stitch and knit, and then knit and then purl and then knit again, all into the same stitch. So this counts as your first set of the repeat, and you're going to repeat the same thing 11 more times like you did over here on this side. You're going to purl the next 3 stitches together, and then you're going to knit, purl and knit all in the same stitch, and that will count as your second repeat. So in this way you will work this repeat 12 times. So I finished working on this repeat 12 times, and now I'm left with 3 stitches, and we are going to simply purl the next 3 stitches. And this completes row number 2 of the pattern. Now row number 3 is going to be worked in the same way as row number 1 of the pattern. We're going to knit the first stitch, and then we are going to work a twist, skipping the next stitch, going into the next stitch, we will knit it, and then we will go into the skipped stitch and knit it and drop them off the needle. This is our twist, and then we are going to purl the next 48 stitches. After that we will repeat the same thing once again like we did on row number 1. So I have finished purling the 48 stitches, and now I'm going to work a twist stitch. So skipping the next stitch, going into the next one, and I will knit that, and then I will go into the stitch that I skipped and I will knit that, and now drop both the stitches off the needle. So this is our twist. Now this was the first repeat. Now we're going to repeat the same thing again. We're going to work a twist, then purl the next 48 stitches, and then again work a twist in the end, and then we will be left with 1 stitch which we will knit. Now when you reach these twists, make sure that you are making the twist above in the stitches where you made the purl 4 on the previous row. So this is, I worked the twist in the purl 2 that I made here, and now I have 2 purls remaining over here. In this one I'm going to make the next stitch, the next twist, and then I'm going to purl the next 48 stitches, then a twist again at the end, and then 1 stitch remaining will be our knit one, in the exact same way that we worked on row number 1 of the pattern. Now we will begin working on row number 4 of the pattern. To begin working on row number 4, first we will purl the first 3 stitches. So I just simply purled these 3 stitches, and after purling the first 3 stitches we are going to begin working in our repeat. So the repeat for this row is going to be, you're going to go into the next stitch and you're going to knit, purl, let's do that, and knit. all into the same stitch and drop it off the needle. After that, you are going to purl 3 together like this. You're going to go into the next 3 stitches and you're going to purl these 3 stitches together. So for row number 1, for row number 2, your repeat was purl 3 together and then knit, purl, knit in the same stitch. But for row number 4, your repeat is going to be knit, purl, knit in the first stitch, in the same stitch, and then you're going to purl 3 together. So the order is changed, but the repeat is almost the same. So this counts as your first set of repeat: knit, purl, knit in the same stitch and purl 3 together. You're going to repeat this 11 more times, so a total of 12 times. So it's going to be the same way. You're going to go into the next stitch, you're going to knit, purl and knit all into the same stitch, and then you're going to go and purl the next 3 stitches together. So I have finished working on this repeat 12 times, and now I am going to purl the next 4 stitches. So just simply purl the next 4 stitches, and after purling the next 4 stitches, we are again going to repeat the same pattern that we made on this side over here on this side in the same way 12 more times. So after your repeat is complete on this side, you will be left with 3 stitches remaining, and you will just purl the next 3 stitches, and that completes row number 4. Now these 4 rows you are going to repeat for the pattern until your entire piece measures 4.5 inches. So you're going to start measuring from all the way down here, and then you're going to measure till it reaches 4.5 inches. You will just keep working in the pattern stitches. These 4 rows, you will keep on repeating them until your entire piece measures 4.5 inches. And make sure you end on a right side row. It could be the row number 1 or row number 3, and just make sure you end on these rows, because row number 2 and row number 4 are worked on the wrong side, and you want to end with the right side row. So I have finished working in the pattern for 4.5 inches. So at the end of repeating this pattern, the entire piece should measure 4.5 inches. As you can see, it measures 4.5, and I have ended with a right side row. So the next row we will begin working on the wrong side of the hat.